Lights, camera, action.
In a studio where local filmmakers talk to other filmmakers about the inside world of film.
Cut.
That's not the script. It. We'll fix it in post. Do you wonder how films are produced and what really goes on behind the scenes? Well, stand by. Filmmakers Kevin Mumphrey, Victoria V.A. Jones, and Carson Hype Ferguson explain all the details. Right here on It. We Will Fix It in Post podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whenever you're listening or watching, I thank you for doing so. I'm Kevin Mumphrey, and this is Fuck It, We'll Fix It in Post. I'm here with my colleagues, Victoria V.A. Jones.
What's going on?
And Carson Hype Ferguson. I was going to throw a joke in there, but we got to guess, so I'm not going to do that.
I'm happy that you decided to be on your best behavior for our guest.
Wow. It won't last long, so don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm always on my best behavior.
Okay.
Oh, were you not here in the last episode?
That was very good behavior.
Oh, man, get out of here, man.
It was very pleasant behavior.
Man.
Anyway, today we're joined by a standout voice in the Nashville performing arts scene. Yeah, I wrote a script for this, by the way. From his debut as a noted newcomer in the gritty comedy, The Motherfucker. God, that felt good. I literally wrote a script just to say that.
That's funny.
With the Motherfucker with the Hat, to his award-winning performance in the historical war premiere.
Don't stumble over your words now.
Hey, I didn't.
No, he wrote the script.
Yeah. Like weeks ago, though. Premiere of A Fan in Me with a Brick. He has become a staple at the Dark Horse Theater, a 2024 First Night Star Award winner, and a consistent collaborator with the Tennessee Playwright Studio. Please welcome Tony Insignares.
How's it going, everybody?
I would give a hand clap, but you know, we're gonna work on it. What?
It's okay. I'll take this too. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'll snap to y'all too. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
That's all give and take.
There you go.
So, yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to clap because I just got the mic around here, but anyway, as I usually start off with, like, where did your love of acting begin?
Man, that's crazy. First of all, thank you for the intro, and of course, honor to be here too. Really, for me, it really kind of started when I was in kindergarten. Actually, crazy thing. There was a play we were doing, MLK. Back when I was at, it was a Trader Lane church. And so, but it was also a little school in there too, but they were doing Martin Luther King, the play for all the kindergartners and whatnot. And I was actually playing one of his kids and I didn't have any lines. And so I don't know what happened, but like literally the day of the show, the guy who was supposed to play MLK ended up, I don't know if he got sick or what happened or whatever. And I don't know how, but somehow I knew his lines. I don't know what happened. And I was a very quiet, shy kid. Like what you see right now is complete opposite what you used, like what you see. You know what I'm saying? I was like shy as like, or like, you know, I guess term would be a brick or whatever. But anyways, we're just gonna throw that out there, shy as a brick. But anyways, like I knew his lines and I literally go up to the teacher and say, hey, I happen to know the kid's lines or whatever. And I did it in front of her. And like literally all of a sudden, fast forward, I'm literally doing the I Have a Dream speech, doing all those lines in front of all these kids and all these people, and they were all applauding and stuff. And this is and mind you, this is an all melanated crowd too. I'm a person here who's like, they don't know who the hell I am. Like they're like, what's this mixed dude been up here? Like, and so, but yeah, that's when it started. And of course, growing up as a kid, my family, they all used to like, we used to like watch a lot of like movies, like watching Eddie Murphy, you know, watching Saturday Night Live and Living Color, like all those shows used to mimic all those characters and whatnot. Uh-huh. And so that's kind of where I started to adopt the whole thing of like just learning to play characters. But that's really where it got started. And so, but fast forward throughout the years, I was actually more of an athlete. I was like in sports and everything like that. And as I was doing that too, doing a little bit of some modeling too. And I was actually I played at Middle Tennessee State University for a little bit when I was a freshman.
And what sport?
Football.
Oh, what position?
I played, I was a walk-on. I was playing, basically I was a scout team defensive line. So okay. I'm going against guys like literally all three of y'all put together. You know what I'm saying? Like big dudes. But I did that and did pretty good. You know, got some recognition and accolades, but due to all kind of injuries from both ankles to back, like everything, you know, you you can even imagine. But after that, I decided, you know what? I caught the acting bug, and then I ended up transferring from MTSU to Tennessee State University, and that's when I started acting.
So what was your first acting thing at MT?
Actually, I didn't do anything at MT,
Well, not MT, but TSU.
But at TSU though, I was telling him my first play I did was Oedipus Rex, and it's if y'all know or don't know, it's a Greek tragedy.
Right,
but
I've heard of it.
But yeah, it's I played on. Actually, they had me cast as the title role, and when I saw the lines, I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm not doing that. So I was like, fuck that. I decided to play the role of Tiresias, who is basically like a blind prophet. So I did that. So literally, I'm on stage playing blind and all that nice fun stuff. And after that happened, like literally, just the doors just swung open for me for everything else coming up.
How do you prepare playing a blind person?
Man, at the time when I first started playing, like I really didn't know where to really start per se. But what I did do is I, of course, went to my director, asked how to go about this, and they said, and basically they showed me go watch the movie Sin of a Woman, like with Al Pacino.
Yeah.
And so so I kind of saw how he was doing it, where it's just like, you're not really like fixated, like unless like if I'm staring at this camera right here or like staring at this one, it's like, of course I'm looking right at it. But if I was, of course, blind, you're not really exactly looking at it. You're just sort of like kind of in a distance where you don't really like have a particular object you're looking at per se.
Right.
So,
that makes sense.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But did that. And of course I had to play an old man. Like, so literally I'm walking around like, old man would. So I'm literally blind and an old man at the same time. So yeah, called character acting.
Now I've heard actors when they like when they play someone older, they may kind of people watch.
Yeah.
And they'll take things from like other people.
Oh yeah.
Now did you do something like that for them?
Oh yeah, always. Like I do that all the time. Like matter of fact, the play I did, we were doing A Christmas Carol, cocktail experience. And this is we did it for like 2 weeks, or at least I did. And some people that I looked up as far as playing that role was actually a guy who I happened to work with. And of course, I'm playing the Ghost of Christmas Present. And if you know the Christmas, or at least I call him the Ghost of Christmas Present. You know what I'm saying? So hello with that too. But that's just my own little flavor to it. But there was a guy I work with who's also an actor. And one thing about A Christmas Present, he's very like jolly, very jovial, very like, just over the top and everything. And there's a guy that I used to work with, and he always kind of had that same energy.
Yeah.
And so when I go up on stage, like literally, like I just kind of change my behavior. I'm more like a Ebenezer Scrooge, boy, get your rusty ass over here. Like, so like literally, I kind of borrow from him and his behavior, because he's always, anytime he sees somebody, he's always like, yo, what's up, Kevin? How you doing, man? What's up, man? I'm not in your face, man. What's going on, man? What you doing, man? Look at all good stuff and sexy. Look at you, boy. So literally, that's how he was. He just had that kind of mentality about himself. So
did you warn everybody before you come in like this? Because
yes,
like,
yes, I actually have footage of me doing that too. Like, and mind, this is in front of a live audience.
Right.
Like, we're literally in front of people, and I'm just like, as soon as they pass me the mic, I'm up on stage. I'm like, I'm on. So I'm like, Ebenezer Scrooge, and I just go right to it. So, and this is literally from somebody who I work with, but also too, the character with how I kind of saw Ghost Christmas Present was like, if you kind of notice in the movie, or at least the story, and this is just me personally, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I kind of feel like that Scrooge is sort of basically Christmas Present's bitch. Because think about it though, he's like, he's kind of like,
please go on.
Like, basically, the reason why I say is because if you think about it, like Scrooge can't go nowhere. He's basically at a place of point of no return. He can't go anywhere, can't do anything unless he goes through all these 3 different entities before he can pass on. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the way I thought of it was, when he saw him, like I kind of thought like, okay, this is basically my bitch. So I'm gonna go ahead and like treat him as such. So and like literally, like I'm going all out as far as I'm slapping on the ass, everything.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like to me, that's just kind of what I got from it. But as far as to answer your question about people watching, I got it from somebody who I work with, and of course I got some bits from A Living Color and everything like that, just to kind of give it some more, kind of make it more over exaggerated. But yeah, with that role, I've done that, and even with motherfucker with the hat, actually it's based off of 3 people. Now the character I was playing, his name is cousin Julio.
Yeah.
And in the play, he's basically the cousin to the main character, hence the term, because his name cousin Julio. But in the play, if you really read it, first off, they say the guy is strange and also kind of feminine.
Yeah.
And so now they don't say he's gay or anything like that. But what I thought was after talking to after both myself and the main character, we both kind of were talking. His name's Carlos. Shout out to him. But when we were going over the like the chemistry between them two, like for some reason I thought to myself about a guy I used to work with. God bless his spirit. His name is Rich, and he happened to be a homosexual, and so I kind of borrowed from his behavior a little bit on how he was with people, and he always had this kind of weird laugh, this kind of thing going. I don't know, like, but I kind of borrowed from him a little bit. As far as his behavior and mannerisms. And actually one of my old bosses, like I kind of had him walking like this, where his fists were like this when he's like walking all over the place. And it's kind of hard to show because I have a camera right here. But
so it's kind of a speed walk.
Yeah, it's not really necessarily a speed walk, but it's more like a very graceful kind of like runway thing. And that's actually, I borrowed that from somebody I used to do a fashion show with. And lastly, another person who I got from, well, 2 people actually, was Sofia Vergara for the accent. Because it kind of thought like this when he's speaking. Yes, how you doing?
Oh.
So, yeah. So I bought that. And also I got Beyonce, too. So
You got to throw a little bit of Beyonce.
Wait. How did we throw Beyonce into this?
Because there's some parts where he gets very energetic, or where he kind of does like a sprint run. If you notice the Single Ladies video where they kind of go like in a circle.
Yeah.
I borrow from that one, too. So yeah, when it comes to anything as a performer, you just kind of borrow from different things, just kind of use what works. So yeah, I definitely people watch.
Oh yeah, you definitely do. You take your entire world and build a person out of it.
Yep, I may pick. Hey, some of y'all might be my victims next. So
let Kevin be your victim next.
So yeah,
I'm fine with
that. But it's a good taste though. It's a good taste. So,
I think I'm rather boring, but hey, if you find something, go with it.
And hey, boring is good. That's the whole idea.
Yes, I think so too.
So yes, that's what I mean. People don't realize that with boring, there's uniqueness out of it. I mean, these people, they may think they're boring, but when you really actually get to know people's authenticity and whatever, you can use that and turn it into something. You can create art with that.
I was just gonna say, boring people don't go to jail very often. So that's just.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, man.
I have to agree with him on that.
Yeah, like income tax evasion, like all kinds of stuff. Man.
Scamming.
Scamming.
Big time. That's a big thing right there.
Yep.
Boring. That's boring. Scamming is boring.
Scamming is boring.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
I don't know if I would call it boring per se. It's not bloody.
There's all different types of scamming. So I'm just saying.
I know. I get those calls weekly.
Well, we ain't talking about them scammers though. That's a whole lot different.
I'm going to lay off of that. But you playing football, so you're used to being out in audiences. Mm-hmm. Was there anything you took from your playing days that you put in the stage?
Absolutely. One thing about when it comes to performing, I don't care if it's like, really, I don't care if it's acting, like even if you're in front of the camera or behind the camera or whatever, producing, directing, whatever. Really, at the end of the day, it's still just like with sports, it's all performance. You know what I'm saying? It's that thing of it's preparation, it's rehearsing, you know what I'm saying? No different from when you have to, like, you know, for me, I'm just speaking from a football standpoint, like we will watch tape to, like, you know, study basically the other team and get to know what they're doing. Same thing when it comes to doing a play. You're literally having to study and dissect lines and understand what exactly you're going to be doing, what you're saying, understanding who the character is, who the other person is, relationships, everything. So yeah, with all that, like basically I want to say that with performance, and it's no matter if it's acting or music, whatever, it's basically all a sport. And not to mention even the fact it's the physical tolling in that too. I even had this, like this year, like I literally went on tour for 3 months earlier with a company called Tennessee Theater Company.
Okay.
And we went all the way through the South and Midwest. We were performing Aesop's Fables. And we're literally doing like 2 shows a day, 5 days a week. That's like a total of like 10 shows pretty much. And you're doing it in front of like kids, families. This is a kid show too. So literally we're performing in front of all these people. And It's a lot, like, because you're on stage, you got lights on you, just like, and here's it's a little warm in here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so imagine that when you're literally on stage in front of people with the anxiety going and your adrenaline going, all that stuff. Yeah, so basically it is definitely a sport. And of course, with our stuff, we're interactive. So we're literally going off stage, right into the crowd, got the kids all wild up and everything. And did that for 2 months, actually, February and March. And then after I got done with that, I got it with Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy, where we're literally doing like basically one person shows. And you're literally like, we're doing The Pit and the Pendulum from Edgar Allan Poe. We're doing The Telltale Heart. We're doing The Raven, of course. And so we're doing all these different lost my words. We're doing all these different readings, all these different creations from Edgar Allan Poe, but we're doing it as a one-person show. With one, we could do 2 people, but basically with that, you're literally doing like with that one, we're doing at least about a total of, at the minimum, 7 shows to about 12 shows like a week. And this is all between Thursday to Saturday, sometimes Sunday, and on total it'll be like 18. I've done 17. But yeah, it's basically a sport. So literally everything I've had to do, like when it comes to this, you're literally pretty much like, I would say you're literally trained like an athlete. Yeah. The only difference is that when it comes to athletics and it comes to this is that there's no shelf life for it. And actually, Jeff Bridges actually said, Jeff Daniels said that when he said there's no shelf life for acting or for performers.
So what do you do? What is your routine before every show? What is your or ritual routine?
Yeah. Like, are you talking about like before a show or like when I get the script?
Before a show.
It definitely varies. Let's see. I would say for me, definitely exercising, stretching, listening to music. Like literally, I usually try to like I kind of tune everything out. Yeah. I'm pretty much what you call it. I don't know what the term is, where it's like an introvert and extrovert together. Ambivert. Introvert. Yeah, I'm basically that. Like I'll still socialize, but I'm usually kind of to myself. Yeah. And a lot of times I'm listening to music just depending on whatever my mood is. And one thing I normally do is whenever I get to like the stage or where we're going to be performing, I usually try to record like the thing just so I can kind of show where I'm at. I like to document my life so I can let people know this is what I'm doing, what I've going on in my life, where I'm at. And so that way they can see like this is what it is. Uh-huh. And I think it's definitely good to have that, especially when, you look back like, dang, I was here, I was there, I did this. Right. And of course, make sure my stuff is ready, make sure my props are ready for whenever we go up on stage. Of course, we got to do sound check, all that nice fun stuff. And so, but that's basically my ritual pretty much when it comes to like stage. And of course with film, I would say it just depends on whatever it is. Like it just really varies depending on whatever the project calls for exactly. Because each thing is different. Like there was one project where I had to play a murderer and / cannibal. And and so literally with this one, even though me and the person were cool, I had to sort of kind of be a little bit cold to them. And it's not trying to be technical, but it's just I had to sort of kind of get myself in that mindset of still being able to keep myself in a place to be mindful. Okay, yes, we're about like this is basically my victim, right? But I can't look at them as a friend right now, right? And so I try my best to like not be too interactive with this other person, and try my best to like not make it a friendship thing. And then once that camera comes on, it's like, okay, like now I'm going to be an asshole for the next few minutes. And I'm going to torture you by, staring you like in the eyes, like basically like this, like,
oh man. Yeah. Don't stare at me like that.
So yeah. So, I think she said she had nightmares after that. so yeah.
Sounds like you did a good job.
I can see that. So the different worlds in between stage and, movies, how do you switch from those worlds, because they're 2 different worlds? So if you got a stage play, have you ever been to a point to where you just came off of a stage play and then you had to go straight into doing filming?
I want to say I know I have done that. Let's see, and if that does happen, honestly, you just kind of go with the flow. And really, to be honest with you, just kind of treat each project differently, because I've had times where literally I get off stage, and as soon as you're off stage, it's almost like you're still kind of always on stage. And even with like for instance with Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy, just it's basically both live theater, but we're also of course serving cocktails, which I definitely enjoy doing. And I enjoy it because for us, you're basically always on stage.
Right.
Like you're never off stage. Like even when you get off, even when you're done doing your piece, you got to go on and start serving the next drink and whatever. And so with that, it's like you're almost kind of switching a little bit sometimes. But and I hope that kind of answers a little bit of the question. But I would say I've had times where I have gone from doing a play, then doing a film, and then doing another project or whatever. But I think that's the fun of it, where you just sort of, I would say, and actually this is something I learned from one of my old acting teachers. Her name is Denise Hicks, and she used to work with Nashville Shakes, or Shakespeare in the Park here in Nashville.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah, I heard of them.
And she directed a piece that had the Heisman winner, Eddie George, on there. And he was playing, I don't know, I think they were doing...
was it like a one-man show?
No, it was, they were doing Julius Caesar, I think.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so, but basically, and she told me a story about how, I don't remember the exact question I asked her, but she talked about how, like, with his schedule, with him both doing the play.
Right.
And like also he had like a big schedule where he was back in Ohio doing some stuff. And not to mention he was also learning to play, not to mention he was, of course, at the time he was still acting. So he was going to LA doing stuff out there too also. Like all this all simultaneously as he's about to do a play. And literally she came to him and asked him, hey, how are you able to basically learn this and still be able to handle all this stuff going on right now? Because this is a lot. Like you're a very busy person.
Right.
And his answer to her was, honestly, I just live in the now. I just live in the moment. And so when she told me that, I pretty much adopted that in everything I do now, where when it comes to no matter what project I'm in, I try my best not to think about all the other stuff going on. I try my best not to think about because we all have times we think about life and other stuff. And of course, all these things, of course, think about, is this thing's going to work out? Is it going to work the way I want it to? Is it going to go well? Is it, people going to come out to it? Is it going to sell out? Is it going to be bad? We don't know what's going to happen. But what you learn to do is you just learn to be in the now. And when the more you start to just be in the moment,
right,
and whatever that is, whatever's going on, then you're able to make the best of it, because then you're not worried about everything else. So to answer your question, the thing I've learned in this case, when it comes to anything I do, no matter what it is, just be in the now.
I've heard somebody say it kind of differently, but still makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, be where your feet are.
Be where your feet are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like sometimes you be thinking about stuff and it may be 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
It might be like another state away.
Right.
It may be, a couple years away.
Okay.
But you need to be where your feet are.
I agree.
Because he was talking about dealing with his family, but think about all these other problems and issues he had to deal with and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like a business guy. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Then I heard a football player say it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. All right. It hits a little bit more now.
All right.
Yeah.
Now you had brought up, like, before you get ready for a play, you would do like some stretching and exercising.
Yeah.
Which makes sense in the sports world, but for a stage, how does it kind of, I guess, centers you as far as getting ready to go on stage?
I would even include not just centering, but also just the fact that when you're on stage, it's literally an athletic sport, because you don't know what you could be doing. There's also things like blocking, choreography, or let's say if you have a fight scene or whatever, or you may have a dance number, like when I did Esau's Fable, my character I played, he was basically a combination. He was basically a grasshopper, and that's one of the characters. But he was a grasshopper who also was a dancer. So that's the reason why I do it too, just because sometimes, depending on whatever the role is, I could be doing something physical, or maybe a scene where it could be choreography, or could be a fight scene or whatever. And I've had that before. I've done plays or shows where I've had to actually fight on, and so, but of course that's choreographed.
Right.
But basically the good thing about the stretching too is also that it's also that thing of knowing your body, because also when I was training in stunts back in Los Angeles, one of the things they taught us is the importance of making sure you know how to be able and to control yourself. Because when you know how to be able to interact with somebody else, the biggest thing you want to make sure is that you create trust. And so one good example was I did a project one time with somebody, and this was actually earlier this year, and we were working with a green screen. And the director wanted me to put my arm around the other person. Now, normally, of course, in real life, we put our arm around somebody, whatever. But in this case, though, I had to basically we had to choreograph it. So what I had him do was I had him basically take my hand and have it put around his neck, like basically for him. That way it wouldn't like hurt him. Try to find the best way to describe it, but just kind of, if you don't like, I use it as an example.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm not gonna do anything to you.
Thank you.
What I did, what I did was like, I asked him basically, okay, like, are there any place I know about that are basically like, or you could be injured? He said, well, I have a little bit of some neck issue. Okay. So how about this? Like, you tell me or show me how you want me to wrap you up. And like, you want to take my hand? Okay. And just put it around your neck or around your head.
Around my.
So basically I just had him do that, where like basically I had him tell me where to go. So basically he's the one leading me pretty much. So when we did the scene, after like when we of course rehearsed a few times, then we went over it and we were able to get through it without him being hurt or being injured or anything happening. So does that make sense?
That makes sense.
He's kind of selling the move for
exactly. Because basically even in wrestling, like
I was just going to bring that up.
When you see somebody throwing a punch, like it's not really necessarily the punch that sells it; it's the reaction.
Right.
Yes.
So basically in this case though, he's basically the one selling it to where like he has to make it look real. All I'm doing is just basically just having him just basically tell me where to put my arm. That's it.
You're just going with the flow.
Exactly. Which goes back to the whole idea of the stretching and everything like that. The biggest thing you want to do is know how to be able to control your body, because last thing you want is for the other person to get hurt or something to happen. All of a sudden, when something happens, you've got days, weeks, even months where you're having to have a delay, all because basically the star performer, Jamie Foxx, for like, not to, just as a scenario, got hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now we got to wait. And that's money being wasted. That's, time, being taken off and things of that nature.
Now, you said because you were born and raised here,
yeah.
right? But you've been to Los Angeles for a point in time. Talk about your experience in Los Angeles.
Man, Los Angeles, boy. Whew, man. That time frame, of course, as y'all, I was telling y'all earlier that I went through a huge breakup at the time. And I had an opportunity.
You went through a breakup here?
Yeah, here in Nashville.
And then you moved all the way to Los Angeles?
Yep.
Wow. Was it a Scorpio?
Wow. Funny enough, she was a Libra. She was a Libra.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All you want to know is it wasn't a Scorpio.
Libra Virgo. But yeah, hopefully she's not listening to this. But anyways, I do wish her, if she does listen to this, I wish her the best. And
you ain't got to.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
She's
it.
a true Scorpio.
This man moved all the way to Los Angeles. Don't worry about it. Continue your story.
You went to a whole different coast.
I got you. He had to get away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Not like to Memphis. He just, or to like Chattanooga or Atlanta. You said, I need to leave the entire South to get away from you.
That is kind of wild though. Like I never heard anybody being like, I went through a breakup, so I moved to Atlanta.
Yeah,
I was like, that just don't sound.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I love my peoples down there. I ain't never heard nobody say that though.
You know what? Perhaps you said that out loud. That's a great point.
Yep.
Usually people get in breakups in Atlanta and they get the hell away from there. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's good. That's all good, man. I appreciate it. Like, now you put it like that. Thank you. But yeah, I went through a breakup, and of course at the time I was still learning a lot about acting and whatnot, or the business of it. And so I decided I got an opportunity to go live with somebody out there to kind of get my feet on the ground. And just to kind of sum up my time in LA, it was definitely a growing experience where I met a lot of great people out there. And I felt like just going through the whole experience of really understanding myself and understanding more about the business of it and just what it really takes. I think if I had to sum up my whole experience in LA is basically don't sell yourself short. Definitely see the best within yourself, and that's no matter what it is. And the one thing I was also say I learned from being in LA was I had the opportunity to go see I forgot what's his name from Boys in the Hood, the one who directed it. Let's see, what's his name?
Was
John Singleton. Yeah, John Singleton. Sorry, my brain was going. But yeah, John Singleton. I actually had the opportunity to see him. There was this thing called the 1 minute monologue mixer. Weird name to say. Okay. Shout out to Tammy Mack. But basically, he went over there and he spoke. And one of the things I remember him saying to everybody there, somebody asked a question about, basically how to make it to Hollywood, typical question. And he said basically to everybody, like, honestly, I mean, you can really make Hollywood wherever you're at.
Mhm.
Right.
Like you can I mean, sure, it's okay to come to LA and do your thing. It's fine. No big deal. But, but really to be honest with you, it's really when you make the best of what you have right now and you're able to make something of that. And that's really when the attention comes to you versus you having to go out there and do all this other stuff. And so, with that, I, learned from that. And as far as my time in LA, like I met a lot of great people there. I went to a lot of different mixers, went to take some classes. And unfortunately, I will say that at the time frame, I wasn't very confident in myself.
Okay.
And so there were times where I was, where I literally held myself back.
Right.
And so with that, there's some regret there. And actually, I even can regretfully say on this here that I had an opportunity to go basically audition for NWA. It was just like an open call or whatever. I didn't go. I didn't
man.
go. I didn't go. And that's on me. And I accept responsibility because it just goes back to that thing of I wasn't confident in myself and I gave up an opportunity.
So when did the confidence hit?
It really hit me, I would say, a little bit after both my parents transitioned. And it's like, and it was a long process, but I had to start understanding what it meant to be confident. And so for me, it's really kind of been a journey. And so it really wasn't until my parents transitioned. And as time went by, as I started to, and this is when I got back to Nashville too.
Right.
And at the time I wasn't acting, doing anything. I was literally like trying to basically pick up where I left off in my life, starting over everything. And so once I started to basically take care of myself more and started really feeding more into myself and stopped trying to look for validation from other people or whatnot, and just started learning to cheer for myself whenever I had those moments where I did well, even if I didn't do well, it's okay, accept it and just keep it pushing. And so I would even say that about maybe the age of about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I started like really getting more confident in myself. And even this year, my confidence grew even more when I started working with Edgar on the Post Speakeasy, and I was up on stage like doing these different shows and basically performing, and you're doing basically doing about 7-12 shows a week, like I said. And when you're doing this in front of people and you're like in that moment and you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen or anything, you're like, it's just like you start to really see yourself when you put yourself through those what we call challenges, but now I say them as opportunities. When you put yourself through those things, you start to realize that you can really see more of what you're capable of, what you're able to do. And even in my personal life, there were even times I had to even tell myself, you know what, is it them that's basically the problem, or is it me? Like, and a lot of times it's really us getting in our own way. And that's something I realized for myself is like, you know what, I got to start putting myself out there more. I got to start pushing myself more, start speaking more, start doing more stuff, start taking care of my health, really getting to know myself and stop trying to look for validation from some other person or trying to basically feel like as though if I don't have this and it's not good enough, it's like, no, like you're already enough. And so once I started realizing that and doing that self-check and doing that self-help, and that's why I say encourage everybody, especially men, mental health is important. Definitely get mental health, go to therapy, do what you got to do. That includes women too, respectfully speaking. So but honestly, for me, confidence is definitely something I've been, that I'm definitely doing way better at now. And I've learned to kind of just don't give a shit sooner or later. You just don't care.
Word of the day. You just don't give a shit.
Exactly. Don't give a fuck. Just like the title, right behind you.
Spoken like a Scorpio.
Say what? See, why are you? I ain't said nothing about Scorpio in past 5 minutes.
Did.
I said you passed 5 minutes. Past 5 minutes. The past 5 minutes.
Past 5 minutes. But I want to go back to something you were talking about, like kind of putting yourself out there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm asking for people who may be more, because actors are a lot more introverted than people may think.
Uh-huh.
So kind of how did you kind of get yourself to putting yourself out there?
Let's see, as far as acting, right?
Yes.
For me, it really kind of started about a couple years ago. When I first got back into acting again, and this is actually, when you point out Fan Me with a Brick, this is actually that came out actually after the pandemic. And so before then I wasn't doing anything. Of course, when the pandemic hit, I was suffering. It was bad. But once I did, when I got called to do that play, Fan Me with a Brick, and shout out to Sean Winslow on that one. and also, of course, Tennessee Playwrights. Really, at that time frame, I just got back in acting again after the pandemic hit. And so at that time, I was kind of going through a little bit of phase where I found myself realizing that I needed to stop being so like being in the background so much. And because during the pandemic, I wasn't getting a lot of work or anything. And actually, I was working production. I was working production at my church, Infinity Fellowship, and basically working the live stream, working cameras, doing audio, things like that. And so, but during that time, I wasn't really performing a whole lot or allowing myself to perform or to be able to be to put myself on the spot, because either like certain things would happen. I would let certain failures, certain experiences happen where it would cause me to like not want to put myself out there. And so when that happened, I said, you know what, I need to start putting myself out there more. And so, what was the question again?
Sorry, we was just gonna let you keep talking.
Gotcha. But basically, I think it was about being more, putting yourself out there more.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. All right. But for me personally, sorry, I get caught up in these moments, man. And so, that's the ADHD coming in. But anyways, but when it comes to putting yourself out there, it really is about, when I found myself playing the background a lot, and it's okay to do that, but I found myself just not really moving forward, or at least the needle not moving as far as in my career and everything else I was doing. And so that's why I decided right then it was time for me to start to put myself out there more. And the more I started taking opportunities, that's why I say there's no such, one thing I've learned is that y'all have heard the term, there's no such thing as a small role.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you basically just kind of get whatever it is you have, you take that bitch and you like, I'm talking about you turn that into a freaking nuclear bomb.
Right.
When you get that thing, you take that little must seed and you turn into a freaking mountain.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, I decided right then, you know what, no matter what I do, I'm gonna do it big, or at least I'm gonna keep finding ways to make it bigger. And so when it comes to being to really putting yourself out there more, even with the stuff I do with the shows I've been doing, I record and I put it out there, and I'm starting to talk to more people, connect, like get people social media and everything. And the more I keep doing it, now I'm seeing people like following my stories. I'm like, dang, I don't even know these. Like, I just met this person in Kansas City and they're already on my stories. Or I met this person here in Pequot, Ohio, and now they're over here like, watching me do a show here. It's like, and we've had people literally from like even the Edgar Allan Poe shows like come to like some of the other shows that are in other cities or states, and they want to go see it because we just be killing it. And it's like, it really does make a huge difference when you start to put yourself out there and you just trust the process and just let it be. And you never know what it could turn into. And heck, I mean, even me and her, we just happened to go to the festival, and me and her just ended up meeting up, and here we are.
Right.
So, I think,
never know.
So yeah, so I definitely say that when it comes to it, it's made me more confident in basically just speaking up more for myself and doing that. And, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, but because my parents passed away, I had to start speaking up for myself more. And there's a story behind that too. But because of that, now I've learned now to be more independent versus codependent.
Right.
Okay. Now, because you come off as a very energetic person.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, like, if there's a role that you played, and specifically on stage, that required like a lot of energy throughout like most of the scenes you had, and if it's so, like, how did you keep that energy up?
Let's see. Actually, it would be this year, really. I've used that one with the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy, and of course, just so y'all know, just to give you a layout of what it is that we basically do. It's basically a cocktail experience, but we also do 4 of Edgar Allan Poe's pieces, and we have a part 1. We also have a part 2, and each one of them go on tour, and this is all around the country too. And so, but with our group, we actually have 2 groups within this state here. And so, but we mainly go through like the Midwest and the South. And so, or at least parts of the South and Midwest. And so, one of the roles, or at least one of the ones I got cast to do, was the Pit and the Pendulum. Okay. So, and what they did was that, of course, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Pit and the Pendulum.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've never heard that one.
Basically, it was written by Edgar Allan Poe, and it's basically about the Spanish Inquisition, and it's about a prisoner about a prisoner who basically is captured and is being, in this case, tortured. And he's basically telling the story of like his whole experience being in this dungeon. And Now, what they did was they condensed it or whatever to where we can make it like, because the story itself is like 20 pages long, so and I ain't got time for all that.
Oh.
So, but we condensed it like to maybe like we basically abridged it, or at least created an adaptation of it that's like about 4 pages long. But with that, it's a lot of work because literally I'm on stage having to basically talk about the whole experience of being in this dungeon, and mind you, I'm doing the show like 3 times a day for like 3 days. Like we do 3 times a day on Thursday, 3 on Friday, and like 6 on Saturday. So mind you, I'm performing that like every single time. And so it's a lot because literally I'm on stage. Like there's even one point where as the when I bring up the pendulum and like I'm looking right at it, I'm like in a panic attack, like just basically going into that mode of like having a nervous breakdown, which I actually do on stage too. And I'm like screaming and hollering or whatever. And so
Wait, so you literally had a nervous breakdown on stage?
I'm literally having a nervous breakdown on stage. Like I'm screaming and hollering everything. Like I literally have a YouTube of like the whole entire thing of me performing the whole entire piece. But yeah, like literally you're on stage. I'm literally showing like what's going on, what's happening. And so it's so I would say with that one took a lot of energy because I'm doing the show like I said, 12 days a week. I'm sorry, we're doing 12 performances a week. So because of that, it took a lot of energy, and I've had to take I even had to take a sabbatical just because of that. So it's definitely a lot.
Now, you're doing these shows like different days.
Yeah.
So, and you've done that for different type of plays as well, right?
I've done some shows. Well, this is my first one where I could say it's a 1-person show, and like where you're literally in front of people by yourself on stage. But as far as other roles I've played, I would say it's definitely varied. Like, and actually, I would even say this year for me is probably the most I've had to be. Well, let me take that back. The last time I had to do something like this where it took a lot of energy was Tennessee Theater Company, which we're doing this show again for this season coming up. We did Little Red Riding Hood and 3 Little Pigs. And I played Pig 1, who basically I gave him the name the Notorious P.I.G., aka Piggy Smiles. So yes. Now understand this. I'm basically in a pig suit. So, and I'm dancing, and plus my character's a dancer too, so he's dancing and rapping and everything. And so, like with this, and also what I do is I run out on stage or run off stage into the audience. I'm having them like basically pretend to be trees and stuff like that whenever the wolf comes out. So like, and that takes a lot of energy too. So, and I'm doing like 2 shows these a day, 5 days a week, like just going, and I'm in a fat suit, and I'm having to like, and I'm going running back on stage too. So it's a lot. But
yeah, you definitely got to work out for all that.
So yeah,
you definitely burn some calories off.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm like, man, I'm telling you, man, like literally when I took off that pig suit, like I was soaked. Like it was just like a rag. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally, like I think one day I took off the pig nose and literally just like sweat just came right out of the thing. So I just made a nice little puddle.
Yeah,
like it was quite a sexy look. You know what I'm saying?
So is there like when you're playing like a same role, different multiple days, multiple shows? They'll be like, okay, one day you may do it like this, or like day 2 you may add something to it or ad lib something. Something kind of maybe keep it interesting to yourself or not keep stagnant.
It definitely varies. Sometimes yes, I try to like, of course, find ways to make new things. Sometimes things just happen organically. Like when I did I'll give you one example. We did a Christmas Carol cocktail experience. We literally didn't get the script. Okay, here's the weird story about this. They gave us the original script, which is the classic version. We were supposed to be doing that, and we got that one like maybe about a couple weeks before we were supposed to start performing. But then the day that we start doing the reading, which is literally a week before we actually start performing,
right,
they decide, okay, we're going to go ahead and let y'all read for this comedy script that we have here. So we're going to read the classic one. We're also going to read the comedy one too. And I already was cast as the narrator for the classic one, but all of a sudden I'm reading for the Christmas present one, which is what I got from doing that one. But we then read for that one. And so after we read the comedy script, they decide right then, okay, we're going to go ahead and do the comedy one. And mind, this is a week before a show. And so when I get up on, so like literally I'm trying to go learn my lines, get ready and everything, prepared and everything like that. And so literally the day we started to perform the show, like, I don't know what the hell happened, but everybody loved it. And I don't know how I learned. I don't know how I remember, like, and I literally was like on stage, like trying my best I could to like basically trying to stick to the script, but then all of a sudden I'm improvising and I'm just going with the moment, and just things just started happening organically. But that experience, I ended up, and I'm not trying to brag or toot my own horn, Taurus thing, you know what I'm saying? Taurus zodiac. Like literally the crowd was like telling me that I was their favorite character. And so really it's just one of those things where you just kind of go with the moment, just see where it takes you. And sometimes it can create some great moments, some better than others. Sometimes you may have some moments where some moments may not hit as much, but when you go with the experience, you just kind of see what happens. And of course, I definitely say, of course, recommend rehearse and, learn your lines and know your material, depending on unless it's an improv, different story. But with this one, we just made the best of it, and we ended up like having it to where they want to see that same show again next year. So you never know.
Yeah, that would have drove me crazy. They give you a script and like, well, we need you to learn this next week.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. We're all pissed off about that.
Now I've heard that happen necessarily in film where they change the script around quite a bit. Yeah. I don't like, how often in theater have you seen situations like that?
In theater, not so much. It's just with this one, this happened, but in theater, it's very rare. I'm trying to think of any time I've ever had that happen. But I can't say I've actually had a time where we actually like just completely changed the script. I will say sometimes yes, like in theater though, like I will say I've done shows where what we do is before we even start rehearsing, we have what's known as a workshop.
Right.
And what you do is that you basically read over the script and you go over it, and you'll like everybody like basically like you'll have like the cast come in, producers, whoever, and you basically read the script or whatever. And then sometimes what will happen is that the director or the producers will decide, okay, we'll leave this, we'll take that out, we'll add this in here. And so, and a lot of times too, they'll have the playwright there too also, if they are present, to say, we'll put this in here, we'll take out of this, or we have to find out what something means exactly, because of course you have to think about language, culture, or whatever they were thinking about when they, presented, when they wrote this down. Right. So I would say
like a table read.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. And so I would say each of these definitely, it definitely varies, but whenever that does happen, usually it's only when it's the time we actually workshop. And of course we're rehearsing it it's in rehearsing before like show hits, of course. Then we decide, okay, if we're going to like, once we've rehearsed whatever the scene is or whatever, we decide if we're going to keep it or let it go or have to fix it, whatever. And so I would say each one is definitely, each moment is different, but in theater, not so much have I seen that happen where we just fix it like on the spot.
Now that you was mentioning the workshop, I know like, and Victoria mentioned kind of like a film is table read. Now I know for like writers, they kind of use it because you want to hear the actor say the words.
Right.
So all right, this may not flow the way we thought it in our head. Maybe we'll rewrite it. Like, so how do the workshops work for you? Like, benefit you as an actor?
Definitely helps, because that's the moment we can actually ask questions. We can, because when we read the script, we don't a lot of times know what's going on or what it is, unless it's something that's like, let's say if it's like Romeo and Juliet, of course we're pretty familiar with that one. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like someone who wrote a script and it's like completely new, the good thing about this, we can ask questions as far as like, okay, like, especially if the playwright is present, we can ask them what they mean by this, or what they mean by this sentence or that word, or like a certain like or a certain type of slang or a certain type of wording that we don't even know what it is, and that could be from a different environment. And so, like, for instance, there was one play I did where it took place in New York, and they said the term bodega. We didn't know what that meant, and then once they told us, like, oh, it's basically like a little convenience store, right? So like certain little things like that can make a difference. And so, but definitely workshopping helps, because you get to ask questions, ask what something means. As a matter of fact, another play I did, which was a gospel play that took place in Pittsburgh, they have a way of how they say, like, how we say y'all or you all? Yeah. They say yins, like all the yins. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, like, that's like a Pittsburgh thing. But
that would have been very awkward if it was said here.
Yeah, exactly.
That sound like YNs.
Exactly.
That sound like all you YNs.
Look, she had to work that in.
Exactly.
She had to work that in.
So yeah, like, and then the weird thing is I didn't even know what it meant until I had to ask them, like, what does that mean? He said it means like you all. I was like, oh, okay, cool. because I thought that was like a typo or something. Like,
Yeah, I would have thought the same thing.
so yeah, that's what I thought at first because I kept they were wondering why I kept skipping those. I thought it was like a typo. It's like, no,
We're not even going to say this.
Yeah.
Just move on.
So, but yeah, workshopping definitely helps out a lot because right there you get to ask questions, work on things, come up with ideas, think of ways where we can be able to make it better, enhance it. And not to mention, it's the moment where the actors, the producers, director, everybody fight choreography, dance, whatever it is, lighting, whoever, audio. Everybody's there to basically meet right there to try to find ways we can ask questions and figure out ways to, make the play presentable and make it look good.
Right. So it seems like you travel a lot.
Yeah.
So what are the pros and cons of traveling doing theater?
Man, it definitely, of course, it's that thing of time.
Right.
Time is definitely like, it's time is undefeated. You don't get that back. For me, as far as the pros and cons of it, I mean, of course, the beautiful thing is you get to go different places, meet different people that you don't really see very often. And I say that in the sense of like, we have people we see in around the city or whatnot,
right?
But to go to a whole different like city, a different state, different environment, culture, like you get to meet different people who don't even know who you are,
right?
And so that's the beautiful thing of it, is just seeing these different places and experiences. The only con, of course, time, but also it's that thing of it's like it's kind of hard because as a man who's single, what I'm saying, you wish you have a little lady, or what I'm saying, but it can be very difficult, especially if you have a partner or whatnot, and because you're away, and
right,
unless they're with you, like when you're on your trips.
Yeah.
So that could also be a challenge too. Is like like basically you don't really get much of a life for yourself a whole lot, especially when you're committed for a certain amount of time. And for me, coming up next year, I'm going to be with Tennessee Theater Company doing Little Red Riding Hood and Three Little Pigs for about a month and a half. And basically I'm going to be on the road. And, the hard thing about that too is that it's that thing of moderation. It's that thing of you don't really get to go out a whole lot because you're having to focus on doing a show. You don't really get to do a whole lot of stuff because not to mention being able to have much of a life, or also having to find out ways where you can be able to like, have time to work out, have time to take care of yourself, have time to take care of the things that are important. And of course, resting, things of that nature, because you're literally on the road, and not to mention, you don't know what could happen even on the road too. So,
right.
What I'm saying? Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've seen some crazy ass stuff happen with like trucks, 18-wheelers, animals, like all kind of stuff. Like there was one time, I think last year, we were like literally in the middle of the back roads, like in the boonies. And I don't know which state this was, but I kept seeing like deer just jumping out like on the road. like literally almost every mile there was like a deer just jumping out of nowhere. Like it would just come up and come straight back. And there was actually one time one literally just went Evel Knievel up like through the van. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So yeah, it was like just went just straight, just you know what I'm saying? Just flying right by. So but as far
as to test y'all gangster.
Exactly. And it definitely got tested. Like that thing got tested and failed. Sheesh. I'm telling you, like, I don't even know if the remains are probably still there now. But anywho, as far as the pros and cons, like, and of course you're around people who are, depending on the relationship between yourself and the other performers, you're around people who you may either know them or may not know them. And so y'all either may become cool with each other or may not. And I think the weird thing about that too is that a lot of times there's that old saying of don't eat where you shit or whatever. However, sometimes when you're around people for a long amount of time, sometimes it can turn into that, and sometimes you can become enemies, or sometimes it can, become good relationships, and sometimes you don't know where it can turn into.
Right.
Yeah. So that's another thing too when it comes to touring is that, just trying to find that perfect medium with like trying to make sure, okay, these are my colleagues, but not my friends. But also, she's kind of fine though. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I can't mess with her because she's my colleague. So, but there's a lot that comes with that.
Now,
to answer your question.
When it comes to again the travel, have you ever done like one show tour and then like jump to another one, or would you even suggest to take like a sabbatical from like take a few months or off from touring to do another show?
I would say something close to that was really this year when I did when I came from doing Tennessee Theater Company and went going to Edgar Allan Poe. However, just kind of give you a backstory, or at least give you the story on that one. After I did Tennessee Theater Company, I I really didn't take a break or anything. I literally was just kind of working during that time frame. I was still doing some projects, some gigs, but I was also, of course, working regular 9 to 5 or whatever. And so I really wasn't doing much of any acting except only just through like if I was doing like a commercial or maybe a little short film. And then, but it wasn't until I got on a post, I got back on tour again. But that was like after, it was like in April, May, June. So really, I didn't start that till basically the end of June, going to July with Edgar Allan Poe. So right after about March with Tennessee Theater Company, I went like 3 months of not touring and just working, and then going straight into doing Edgar Allan Poe and going on tour with them. And so, but with that one has a little more flexibility to it. However, I would definitely recommend, just depending on whatever, I would say definitely take a sabbatical. But if you have like a goal or something you're trying to meet, you know what I'm saying, then definitely do what you got to do.
Right, just go for it.
Exactly. So I would say for anybody, like if you do it, I mean, if you have the stamina to like keep going, keep doing it. But if not, I would definitely recommend take a break, rest. Understand this right here, you only get one of these.
Yeah.
That is done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
Now I had when you were talking about touring and like being single, I don't know if this is the case. It's just a horrible thought I had. That like maybe certain actors had like how do I say this? Had friends in different area codes.
Oh yeah. I would say
don't put his business out like that.
No, I'm not saying him. I'm just saying if he's seen actors who like, I can't wait to go to Pittsburgh.
You're asking him.
Yeah. I'll say this.
No. He's asking for a friend.
I can't stand y'all. I don't like y'all at all.
This guy talk right here.
I don't like y'all. I leave it alone.
No, wait, hold on. You'll be surprised how many ladies I know do that. Like I got ladies I got ladies who got different men in different area codes.
I heard a stand-up comedian, like female stand-up comedians talk about this.
Yeah.
Like this is a thing.
Yeah.
Performers across the board.
Like, I can't wait to go to Miami.
Yeah. And hey, not to mention, I know some ladies who have them in different zip codes. Area codes and zip codes.
That's dangerous right there.
Like, man,
That's too close. It's too close.
Yeah.
They know how to play some roles for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey,
on stage and off.
Exactly.
So okay. So what was the question? I mean, what was your answer? Okay. I want to know your answer though.
I mean, basically, I don't judge people as far as what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I say, me personally, like I will say this: I try my best to keep things professional as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Like
I like that answer.
I mean, I will say I do have some friends who I have in other places or whatnot. People I'm cool with. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's good to have connections. We have social media. We have people who we know from all different walks of life, different cities, states, whatever, zip codes.
That's a very politic answer. So, I like that.
So, yes. So
I like that.
So, yeah, and not to mention other countries, too. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but basically.
You have a great future in politics, by the way.
Yes. I ain't ready to get the hair up yet. So, yeah. But basically, to answer your question, I mean, if you make connections with people, that's fine. If it turns into something, cool. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. I mean, we're all adults here. You know
like a true player.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I always say this, and this is just me personally, as long as you have an NDA and some contracts as far as what you want to do together, hey, you know what I'm saying? Go at it. Y'all can go 50 Shades of Grey up a day, you know what I'm saying? So
before we play, sign this right.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Need your maiden name and put your daddy last name.
They're gonna be like, you have those on deck? There you go, right there. It's a whole photo.
I don't play like that.
Exactly.
I play on stage.
Exactly. It's like, okay, sure. What am I today? Am I gonna be Stephanie? Am I gonna be Kim today? What's that sign? Oh man.
Well, Tony, thank you for taking time out to talk to us today. I always like to wrap up with actors or pretty much anyone. And I ask them, why do you love what you do?
Hold on. Before you do that.
Yes.
What do you have coming up next?
Well, let's see. Next, I would say, what's this week? Oh wait, no, this week is a New Year's Eve, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Next week I start going into doing Tennessee Theater Company with Little Red Riding Hood and Three Little Pigs. Gonna be touring with that. Actually, I'm sorry, I take it back. First, I'm gonna be doing Edgar Allan Poe. I'm gonna do that for 2 weeks, then do Tennessee Theater Company with Three Little Pigs. So, and I'll just be honestly, I'll be touring between mid-January to basically March, or the end of March, and whatever I could pick up between then. But that's about it so far. I will say I am kind of at a place now. I'm wanting to do my own stuff now,
Right.
because sooner or later you get tired of doing other people's stuff, and as much as I appreciate it, I feel like now I'm at a place I want to start doing my own projects now. But that's what I have coming up as far as of right now.
Okay.
Now, as far as your own stuff, that film or stage or both?
More stage, but because literally, I put it like this. I'm just gonna say it's stage. I don't want to jinx it, but it's gonna be stage. But once it's done, I'm gonna definitely let y'all know about it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, but I do want to do other things too, like film and television and whatnot.
Most definitely.
Now, actually, before we wrap, now I'm thinking of it, because you talked like about Tennessee playwright.
Well, it's Tennessee Theater Company.
Theater.
Yeah. Tennessee Playwright. They did Film with a Brick, but Tennessee Theater Company. That's why I do. That's why I do the kids' plays.
So you've mainly stage right, done Tennessee Theater, Dark Horse. Any other ones?
I've performed at Tennessee Performing Arts Center. I did that when I did a gospel play with that one. And let's see. I've done that. I've done Dark Horse. I've done Tennessee State University. I performed at Belmont University. Let's see. It's beautiful theater too.
Yes, it is.
Let's see.
Yes,
And,
it is.
I saw it a few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh.
Oh yeah, man. And let's see. Let's see what else have I performed. As far as other places, I mean, I performed in. I'll say as far as states, I performed in L.A., Kentucky. I performed in Ohio, Mississippi, Alabama, Missouri, Indiana, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. So yeah, I performed a little bit everywhere, and Kansas.
Now, for people here who hasn't been to like any of like the Dark Horse or the Tennessee Theater Company, kind of give it like maybe a summary of what those places are and like your experience with them.
Dark Horse Dark Horse actually used to be a church that they turned into a theater, and it's a very, I would say it's kind of it's not like y'all been to a black box, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It's not exactly like a black box. It's almost kind of equivalent to that. However, I would say the way the stage is set up is like I don't know why they do it like this, but they have the bathroom where like you have to literally go literally on stage just to get to it. But they also do it at Actors Bridge too, where like literally, and it's not even like for instance like the door is like right on the side. It's like no, like that's at the Dark Horse too, where like you have to literally go to the side of the wall and then go to the door to maybe the bathroom while they're performing. But Actors Bridge, it's so bad to where like it's like it's like one way in, one way out. But if you want to go to the bathroom, you literally have to go up on stage, and like the door is like right there in the middle of the stage, like where that television is. Like that's that's a weird setup, but that's another story. But Dark Horse is very kind of a cozy environment. I've been fortunate to do a couple of do maybe 2-3 shows there, including readings. And let's see, I've done stuff there. As far as other theaters out there, of course, Tennessee Performing Arts Center, I performed there. Let's see. I performed at other places, but I can't really remember exactly what they were, like the name of them or whatever. And so I just can't let's see. Of course, I've performed at Belmont, and I performed at Tennessee State. And let's see. I did a reading one time at Vanderbilt University. Let's see. And as far as other places I performed at, I would say I performed pretty much around town. And sometimes some places I performed at weren't even really necessarily theaters. They were more of just like a space where literally we just kind of turned into a theater or turned into just an area for us to perform in. And so I performed, actually I did one show, I think at a Cafe Coco. There's like a upstairs area, I think. I'm trying to remember exactly where, but I would say I performed pretty much almost everywhere around town.
If there's a stage, he's been on it.
Exactly.
Kevin making you think too much.
Exactly. I know.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's all good. Hey, you never know. You know what I'm saying? So, and actually, I performed at Infinity Fellowship. Oh, I performed at a few churches here and there too. Can't think of the name of them, but I performed. Let's just say I performed at
everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been everywhere.
If there's a stage, he's been on it.
Exactly.
In every area code.
Yeah. Yep. I've got hoes.
I wasn't gonna say that, but I'm glad you did.
Yep.
But again, as we wrap up, I like to But first, I would like you to answer for people, because you hear like when it comes to like entertainment, they go to like movie theaters, streaming.
Yeah.
What can a person get from a theater experience that they can't get from a streaming, which is kind of really popular now?
Let's see. When you say streaming, you talk about like let's
Netflix, stuff like that,
okay.
like a live theater
Those
experience.
are two different worlds, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, to answer your question, I would say this. With film, of course, you know, it's basically you keep going until the take is, you know, pretty much you can go different takes and just keep going. You know what I'm saying? As many times you need to basically get what you need to get footage.
Right.
With and I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it still basically brings up the message as far as what you're trying to put out there. And with that, it's like and actually James Avery kind of said it best. And I was trying to think of how he said this when he talked about the difference between film and theater, where with film, it's like you basically get something from that moment with what you see on screen or whatever. And so, and a lot of times they had to go through different takes to be able to get that one scene. And it could have lasted like maybe a minute, but it's only like 30 seconds. And so with theater though, like when it's live, basically with theater, it's like you're basically in that moment. And so when you're in it, there's no take two. It's like you're there, you're in it. And
right.
So with that, you're basically getting a real life like human interaction where you're actually going through the experience right there in that very moment, which you can't take from that. You can't take away from that. And so it's like it's raw, it's uncut, it's like right there in front of your face. And so with theater, it's like it's definitely alive where you actually get to go through that experience with some other person where it's not even just like it's not even just that person that's seen, it's everybody else who's a part of that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? You're basically getting an inside scoop of this is what's going on here. And so if I had to say the difference between theater and film, with theater, you're in that moment, like you're in that scene. With film, on the other hand, you basically kind of get whatever you get from that moment, if that kind of makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah.
Now that's where wrap this up. Again, I like to ask, why do you love what you do?
I got to think about that one a little bit. Let's see. I would say for me, what I love about it is, to me, I would say it's a couple of things. It's that thing of, it's the moment where I get to be my true, like I get to be myself. It's almost like, and it kind of goes back to the pendulum where when I do that scene, this is like the moment where I get to, and it talks about, and I kind of go back to mental health too, where this is the moment where, of course, as men, we have to be stoic. We have to, keep a certain kind of, thing about us where we have to keep our emotions inside. But in that scene, I get to be able to have that moment to be able to release those feelings, release that fear, release that vulnerability, the authenticity in that moment. And I say this all to say that there was a gentleman who came to me at one of the shows, which was here in Nashville. He said, like, dude, like I felt something from that moment that you brought where it made me feel like as though like I had something inside of me that I've been keeping for a very long time. So for me, it's that thing of, it's a moment for me to be free, but it's also that moment for people to be allowed to, especially, even guys, not to be sexist, but for men, to be able to have that space to know it's okay to be able to be authentic. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be human. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to know that because you're not a robot. And I'm not saying for people to go out there and, be crying, all that stuff like that, or be, or get emotionally sensitive. But what I am saying is just that
it ain't nothing wrong with being crying and being emotionally sensitive.
And I said, and I agree. I definitely agree with that.
There are times.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
When you need someone.
Yeah. And I say that all like not to be just go around everywhere, just, being emotionally like just
falling apart all over the place.
Exactly.
Yeah,
turn into a little 5-year-old child.
Yeah,
like
that's probably a no.
Yeah. But basically, for me personally, it's that space to let it be known that it's okay to feel those feelings and to be able to be in tune with that, and to have a safe space to be able to do that. And in this case, I have a safe space to be able to express that. And so for me, what I love what I do is that I get to be able to have that space to express that, to be authentic and to be vulnerable when in real life I can't always do that. And at the same time, be able to have people connect with that and be able to say, hey, I actually felt something from that. And to me, it was something I needed that moment. And so you never know whose life you may have changed or who may have needed something that may have inspired them.
Right.
That answers your question.
Absolutely. We used to have a clapping sound.
Don't worry about
effects
it. We in new seasons.
It's all
Okay.
good. It's all good. We'll do a step aside.
We've
We don't have
upgraded.
that
Yeah,
anymore.
there you go.
Yeah, it's
There
all
you
good.
go.
It's all good. It's all
There
good.
you go.
Tony, thank you for taking time out to speak with us today. It has been a pleasure.
Same
We've
here.
learned a lot here.
Same here.
And once again, I am Kevin Mumphrey with my colleagues Victoria Scorpio Jones.
Oh my God. I
Earth,
ain't got nothing to say.
Earth science.
And Karsten Hype Farguson.
It is amazing she doesn't have anything to say.
Man, I swear, I swear, I was like, I
Put
knew
it
she
back
had
on me
something.
then.
I knew she had something to add with it.
Nothing. I just want you to put the camera back on me.
Which was very Scorpio of her as well.
Exactly.
Just put the camera back on me.
And just look at me.
And make sure my focus is right. make sure the lighting is correct. Having a Scorpio as a director.
Oh my gosh.
goodness.
Get
Thank
off
you.
the Scorpio. Okay.
There's her quote. There's a Scorpio quote. Well, thank you, and that is a wrap.